I know everybody's going to be talking about Nami using Zeus, and also seeing Pudding have that change of expression at the end of the chapter, to seeing Prometheus getting wrecked by Jinbei. I know many are going to be talking about these individual scenes. However, there is one scene that needs to be talked about first, and that is Brook and Chopper's scene. That scene, hands down, just mad respect points to both of those characters, Chopper and Brook. Those two characters, they have always been on the skittish side when it comes to the Straw Hat crew. They are not probably as cowardly as Usopp. Now, Usopp has shown bravery as well, but you have to where Brook and Chopper, they have gotten scared, and they're not one to really, like, tackle just strong foes normally. But they will if they have to. I mean, Brook has proved it, Chopper's proved it in the past. And I just want to give mad respect points for these two characters standing up and fighting against Big Mom's crew, even though they don't really know what happened to their captain or anyone else a part of their crew. They have no idea, but they're standing and fighting. They had a chance to run away, but they didn't. And that's what really made me love this chapter, because some of Big Mom's crew were like, you know what, it's just two of you, you can leave right now, we won't stop you, but just remember your crew is gone, they're dead now, so I guess you can leave, we won't stop you. And I'm thinking to myself, like, holy shit. And Brook and Chopper, they're like, no, we're not doing that. We are going to fight you, and we're going to get back on the Sunny. That was a great moment for these characters, because they stood up, and even though they don't know the fate of their captain or anyone, for all they know, they can all be dead, they still are standing tall and waiting for them. That is just a great moment. And these crew members of Big Mom that are on the ship are nowhere near weak. They are very strong. I mean, Katakuri alone, this man has proved himself time and time again throughout this arc that you should not underestimate him, because at the very least, he's not underestimating the Straw Hats. So that right there, I love that. I just love how Katakuri is as a character, and I love how he's not underestimating the Straw Hats, which makes him very dangerous. But on top of that, Brook and Chopper, they're standing up. So just MVP points right there. Some very good points for those two characters. Anyways, let's talk about the situation with Pudding. So at the end of the chapter, Pudding changes expression. She is going into, like, evil mode once again. And my only theory on this fact is that Pudding is most likely jealous. Let's think about what we saw in this chapter. After Nami used Zeus and all that, or she was getting Zeus to prep up the fire, she had Sanji grab her and then run off with her. So, in a sense, Sanji was carrying Nami on him, and most likely Pudding saw that, got very jealous, upset, and that's probably why her face, it changed in emotions instantly. It's because she was really upset to see Sanji holding another girl. I mean, we already know that Pudding definitely does care about Sanji. We have seen it. We've seen panels. She is definitely falling in love with him. However, I do think that that evil side of her, most likely why it popped out, was because she's jealous and because she's probably yandere for Sanji. So, that's a really cool part about her character I like, because I can't imagine how her character would be in the future if she continues to be a love interest to Sanji, because Sanji, as we know, he is someone that loves women. He gushes all over them, and if Pudding, you know, stays in the series relevant and all of that, and actual potential love interest, I could see that being like an ongoing gag with Sanji, because Sanji, as we know, he likes women, he always bleeds out of his nose and stuff, and he almost killed him one time. And in this case, if Pudding sees him doing stuff like this, she might get very angry, upset, and then go into her evil mode to stop him or something. I could definitely see something like that. That could be a gag with these two characters, but still, though, I think that explains why Pudding acted like that. But anyways, though, let's talk about Nami. So Nami, I've loved her interaction in this arc. I think out of all of the characters that has surprised me the most, it's definitely been Nami in this arc. Now, Brook has done some insane things. I mean, he's fought Big Mom, he slept with Big Mom, this man has managed to wound Big Mom. I mean, this man has some feats, and I mean, look what they're doing now in this chapter. However, Nami is a character that's been very consistent in this arc. Like, she has consistently been a good character. Maybe not in terms of just strength-wise and just fighting big opponents, but she has consistently been a very good support character. She has supported Luffy when he was in battle. She has supported now in this situation with Zeus. I mean, she has said some really nice things or cocky things to some of the homies. I mean, I just love stuff like that. And Nami's character has always been kind of a big highlight for me. I like Nami. But over the time, or over the years, years, Nami hasn't really had that much focus. She hasn't been relevant in a long time, and seeing how she has gotten a lot more focus in this arc, because now the arc is focusing on the characters that weren't really showcased in Dressrosa, we have to where Nami is showcasing some sides to her that we really haven't got to see in a very, very long time. And I mean, I just love how spunky she is and how she is actually staying like she normally was in the past, but she's showing that she's not going to back down or be scared. I mean, when she's using Zeus to fight back or just feed Zeus, that's just badass. That's legit badass. I mean, you cannot lie and say that isn't badass, because when you see Nami feeding Zeus and Zeus is falling around, you're like, wait a minute, is Zeus really going to become a potential power-up for Nami? Because that's fucking broken. That's legit broken. I mean, I've already discussed this in my last chapter review, that if Nami gets Zeus, it's kind of like she has the power of a Yonko. I mean, that's crazy. That's legit crazy. And if Zeus can get stronger thanks to the weather eggs and all of that, oh my god, just GG. GG. So, I like Nami. I really like Nami in this chapter, and I do hope Zeus does stay a part of the crew, or at least joins, and Nami has him, like, as a pet or something. I would really love that. I mean, after what Zeus did, I mean, after attacking Big Mom, I don't think he might be able to go back. I could see Big Mom not liking him, and Zeus fearing for his life. He might just join Nami or something, and treat him better and all of that. I could definitely see that happening. But the question is how far does the range of Big Mom's control go when it comes to Zeus? I mean, can she just manipulate him completely, make it to where he doesn't listen at all? That is the question I have. However, though, let's talk about the stuff with Jinbei. So, Jinbei also is another character that's remained consistent in this arc and proved that he is a really good addition to the Straw Hat crew, especially when he fights against Prometheus. He damages Prometheus, but also he reins in Luffy and tells him what he needs to do. He's, you know, the strategist. He's the one that gives the plans, the tactics and stuff, what they need to do, and Luffy actually listens to Jinbei, which is just completely surprising. It's just, holy shit, like Luffy listening to someone. Luffy's not going crazy and doing his own thing, he's listening to Jinbei, which just shows how important Jinbei is a part of the crew. He's like a father figure that's just telling him how to handle the situation. And when he's telling Luffy to, you know, grab Carrot, make sure she doesn't run off, or telling Pedro, hey, stop your fight and all that, we gotta keep running, that right there, a very good scene. And so I have to admit that just seeing how Jinbei has proven himself that he's a very good addition to the Straw Hat crew, I'm just glad that he did join and didn't die or just didn't do his own thing or Luffy denied him or whatever. I'm just glad he finally did join. Let's talk about that cover page. Now, I probably should have already mentioned this earlier in the video, but it's better late than never, and I know many are probably already going to be commenting about it in the comments before you even get to this point in the video. The cover story of One Piece. That was very, very, very unexpected. Like, holy shit, Bartow, what you just did? Oh my god, like, okay, we know Bartow's a fanboy of Luffy. Well, we know this man really cares for Luffy, and he was selling merchandise on Shanks' island, his territory. And we know if Bartow knew about Shanks, that Bartow would probably just worship Shanks, like, holy shit, you know, my great senpai and all that, someone that taught Luffy. I could see Bartow being a big fan of Shanks and liking him. But from the cover page, it is revealed that Bartow is completely unaware of Luffy and Shanks' relationship, and on top of that, what is revealed is that he burnt a flag. And this is a very big part about the cover page, because with a flag being burnt, that symbolizes an act of war. I mean, we saw this in Enies Lobby. You think about Enies Lobby, when a flag was burnt, when Usopp shot that flag down, you remember that was like an act of war. That's what burning a flag means. And so with Bartow going out his way and burning Shanks' flag in his territory, it's like saying, fuck you. Yeah, fuck you being a Yonko. I don't care. You know, Luffy's my senpai, which is badass. I respect Bartow for just showing how much loyalty he has to Luffy. However, it's a very dangerous move. And, I mean, if it wasn't Shanks that Bartow was on his territory, like, if it wasn't Shanks' territory, and if it wasn't Shanks' flag, Bartow would be in a lot of trouble. Like, holy shit, he might die. But since this is Shanks' territory, I could see Shanks just laughing it off like it's nothing at all. I feel like Shanks is going to arrive. Before everything is said and done with this arc, I feel like Shanks is going to pop up, and he's probably going to have some form of drinking contest with Bartow, and we're going to have it to where he's going to find out about Shanks, and everything's going to be okay. But still, it's pretty ballsy for what Bartow did. I mean, it takes a lot of courage to do something like that to a Yonko, so, I mean, just Thankfully, it was Shanks that, you know, his flag was burnt. I mean, if it wasn't, he would be dead. Blackbeard would come after him, Big Mom would come after him, Kaido would come after him, which is common sense. So, yeah. Anyways, tell me your thoughts in the comments below, how you felt about this chapter. I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi.